Hello.
You've asked me before, what goes on in this cart, right? So I've been collecting parts for a long time for a certain specific reason. And it is finally time to reveal the reason. Step over here and let's discuss. These are all parts for the Zephyr I've been wishing to use for a long time. We got a lot of steering stuff. We have all the dashboard stuff, and I've never put any of this into place. So what we don't have in the Zephyr is a dashboard or steering. So follow along. Let's explore. All right, so check this out. We went over this when we first got the car, but some may not be privy. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to watch the first episodes, but look at this. It's blue. Pretty cool. So this fella, I'm sure he had aspirations of sort of the same type of build we're doing. Like, it wasn't big money. It was just a driver, because this is clearly spray can, epoxy, and some kind of a sticker pinstripe. And it was the same thing. It was a Ford V8 in the car just sitting there with a bunch of other weird stuff done with the seats, etc. And then these gauges, speedometer, and then the temperature and fuel cluster.
Did this come out of this car?
Definitely not.
Okay.
So yeah, think about that. Some folks may know. Ford product, Lincoln product, I don't know. And I'm not sure in the Zephyr if there were two holes for the gauges, but I'm guessing this is the center. I don't like this at all, but we could find something that fits. Let's build this dashboard piece by piece and see what we got.
I bet I know somebody that probably has the piece you're looking for. We got to go pay him a visit soon anyway.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. This is the sum of the stuff that makes the Zephyr wanted. So I don't know if this piece replaces that piece. I mean, let's look inside the car, because we definitely have two ashtrays. We have two glove boxes. But I know this is the center, but let's take a look. He's got a piece of wire. He had all these hanging in the garage where we found the car. Then he has this.
Oh. Aww.
So, I mean, if we could pay homage to the fella with some of his stuff.
I agree.
Definitely not the baby blue, but like this style on the dashboard would be pretty cool. Let's see how these fit in there. Now, unfortunately, none of the cool little hardware bits were around. That's a bit of a bummer, but I'm guessing, does that just sit straight on there, or does this come in under? Oh, I see. Yeah,
Looks like it fits in there.
There it goes. Yeah, cool. So I'm gonna get some tape. Yeah, this is obviously nuts and bolts. Yeah, let me get a piece of tape and stick that on there. So that's what I was unsure about. This rotates under and then hooks in. Like that. Goes like that. Now the center, it looks like he cut some stuff. So hopefully that doesn't delete.
I feel like I know where the two ashtrays go.
Good point. Let's put those in. This one has the little holder. That one doesn't. See, that pops right in. Ooh, pretty good. Yeah. Dang it, this one's missing a little thingy. Oh, well, I'll come up with something.
Aww, I love this.
Right?
It's just cool because
This guy back in the day, yeah.
he held on to this thing for all those years and it was never fully actualized. So
Nope.
neato. I love it so much.
And what we're going to do is, I don't like this steering column thing, but you see it's got a shape to it. And I thought, I'll be right back. You've seen this a lot before in rat rods, but we might not use a connecting rod. But we might use something similar looking. Because he had something mechanical going on here, you know? So, yeah, that wouldn't be a bad steering column drop. Or maybe we do that with a little bearing on the bottom. Just to give an homage. This is getting cut out. He also put in like a modern windshield wiper system. See, there's a bunch of welding that's gone on in here. So he was up to something. See, this bracket's welded in. There's an electric wiper motor in there. Some other tabs. So he was up to something. But let's see what these centerpieces look like. So we could probably look online. See what an actual Zephyr. So that fits like it belongs there. Def. But does this go here? Or does that go there? And then we have this other piece. And I remember that goes like that.
Ah. Do you still have any of those magazines that came with the
Yeah, they're
Zephyr?
somewhere in a box. But I'm going to look on my phone right now and we'll figure that out.
Ian always comes out with different glasses.
Depends what kind of mood I'm in.
Oops.
So let's try 1937 Zephyr dashboard. So it does show that he made his own.
Can you click on the picture and make it bigger?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the ideal. So he made his own thing in the top center.
Ah, oh, that's cool.
And then that drops. So, yeah, did he find another center and modify it, or did he create that one? I wonder. I mean, I love his idea, but I mean, don't you want an authentic Zephyr dashboard?
100,000,000%.
Yeah, it's just.
So you don't think that one's the stock one?
No, that image shows this with the two dealy bobs there. So he cut it. Not a deal breaker, but
Right, aren't you full custom Yankee? Fix it.
well, this would be full restoration, Ian. I'm just making that point.
Because I love how that grill thing comes down with the clock in it.
Oh yeah,
So cool.
Definitely.
So neato.
All right, so we want that 100%.
Yes.
All right, so we're gonna have to do some stuff to the dashboard to make it happen. The unfortunate part is, I mean, I guess, for our sake, and it is our driver, our forever car, we could just leave these a little piece of plastic behind them and just look for whatever gauges will go there.
Yeah.
And just put anything that fits here. So, all right, so we know that. Let's look a little more into the steering arrangement because we have exhaust. I know it's going to be a real issue. And I don't expect to finish that in this episode either. We're just going to do a layout. I got all those bends. Let's stick this exhaust manifold on and just take a look at how cramped it's going to be. So can you see this? Let me get the light.
Yes.
Oh, no, there it is. So you can see how cramped that steering angle is. The oil filter is in the way as well. So let me get that light on the subject. So our steering's gonna have to come from here. Can you see that right there?
Mm-hmm.
So that is a definite issue. But we're going to need the proper spline for that steering rack. And then this steering column is going to come up. You see where it ends right here on my right of my hand?
Mm-hmm.
So this end is going to need a U-joint, which we have.
This is the part of the project where I'm like, wow, how are you going to do this?
Right, it's a little bit like
Or remember the boat
elbow.
car when you did the steering on that?
Oh, that came through too far. So see, that's what that allows that to do. So yeah, the steering on the boat car was wild. This is going to be pretty straightforward, but this is typical stuff you run into putting a V8 in a very old car like this. It's a lot more cramped. So this is going to come through the firewall. This thing doesn't come apart on us. All right. So I'm trying to just set it in place. So the angle here is going to be increased in that this is going to come out to there. So that's cool. But let's factor in that exhaust manifold and see what happens. That might change the whole equation. So the first time we put these on was fun. I'm starting to get the hang of it. Now that we got enough clearance. Yeah, it sets right in place. Nice. So this is the one we repaired.
Oh, that was going to be my question.
No, that's the other side. See how wide the engine is where the manifold is on? I don't know, with that oil filter off. Do I dare take this off? I'm going to spill some oil. So we had this discussion about this oil filter. They sell one that's smaller, and they also sell an oil filter relocation kit. Hopefully this thing comes off with the engine in. It's getting close. Yes,
Whoa.
It came off. Nice. I'm going to have to get the end with the proper spline on it, but those are available definitely from Speedway. Mustang 2 spline. But I'm going to thread this on. And the other one. So yeah, I'm going to set this in and put it right on that one if it doesn't fall on the ground. Cool. See, this is what we're going to start to explore right here. Do we need one U-joint or do we need two? That clears. That looks good. Just trying to set this in place with the tool so you don't just have this huge thing that keeps falling apart. Yeah, cool. Well, darn. Look at that. We got plenty of room. I didn't expect it to be that easy. Let's look at it from this side. Come on into the dashboard side. Look at that. Points right at his original design.
Maybe the spirit of him is trying to tell us something.
Just get a little wire to hold that. Interesting. Let's go back to the engine side and take a look at this. So, yeah, that totally will work. It's a very mellow angle down there. Wow. I don't want to say that I'm pleasantly surprised, but I am pleasantly surprised. All right, let's take this apart. Because now we just have this floppy kind of thing, right? If you turn it, it's just going to bind up. So I have these Heim joints, right? So they fit the steering shaft, albeit they are a bit squeaky. So that will hold that, and it's still, right? I can pivot at any angle. So this is going to go on a little mount to the chassis to hold that steering column. I thought we were just going to mock this up, but we're going to build it.
Let's do it.
Let's go to our bucket of bolts. And there's this cool little stopper on this piece that I found. So that is a collar that will hold it in place should we need it.
The gentleman that sent that big old box bolts commented and asked if we got them, and we did.
This is where we're going.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's got the number. This is a little unique in that it's large diameter and fine thread. But I got an eye for this stuff. That's large diameter. Ooh, it's bigger than almost everything we have. This might be a trip to Carl's Jr. Hardware. That is a large bolt. That's okay. It's not going to work against our mock-up. That is a steering column holder. Look at that. What's this? Whoa.
Told you. The old man's spirit. He wants the Zephyr to drive.
This is exciting. What's this? Too small. So, okay. Well, we can go ahead with this right now because we're going to get a little lock nut to stop that. But this is perfect because this is what I was looking to build. Something to receive this end. Whew. Getting the chills. I think I'm feeling another presence. While we're on, let's get into this. I mean, this is like Vegas right now. Feeling lucky. I mean, I've said that the bin of bolts never disappoints, and it hasn't. It has proven once again to deliver. Just gonna need to enhance slightly with that lock nut. Cool. All right. Well, let's see. Let's put this on that steering shaft and see if that's gonna work, or do we need to create an angle bracket? This goes on here. That. Ow. That goes on there. That. I dropped our other little adapter on the ground. I gotta crawl under. Yeah, that angle is very mellow. It's nice. So, wow. Looks like we might be able to bring this all the way tight to that, and we might just weld that right to the car.
So then how will you navigate then putting back on the oil filter?
That's what I'm saying. We're going to have to get a relocator. Yeah, at that point, the steering angle is prominent. Yeah, I say we cheat it over because we're hitting right there. I say we keep it as low. Yeah, because look how much room is here. I bet we could put that filter right back on. I'm going to tack this and spin it and see what we get. Look at that. That's almost too perfect. And I mean, we could come in like this and improve this angle just a bit. We don't lose a lot from the oil filter spacing, especially if you put a relocator on it. Yeah, I think we're going to do this right there. Man, I like that. I'm just going to tack it. And we'll spin that rod and see what happens. So what that does is that the little coupler becomes a perfect shim to hold this in place. Remember I showed you that other shim? More tack on that. Now, some people might say, man, this is not going to make the steering shaft heat up. Yeah. There's no grease in it.
Wow. Oh my gosh, it steers, kind of.
Almost too easy. The spirit of the Zephyr is with us. So now we're going to get inside and take that guy's weird contraption off. That's all torch welded. See if we can't come up with a solution for that. Man, I didn't expect that to go that way. So let's drop this, and I don't really know how this is welded in. It looks like it's just a huge blob of material. So I'm just going to start cutting. See what transpires. Thing is on there, solid. Let me get my glasses and see if we can figure this out. Might be bolted in place and welded. Oh, it is both bolted and welded. They were not taking no for an answer. So they shanked it up with a couple big rusty bolts and then welded over it with an arc welder or a gas welder. Oof. I think I'm gonna have to do some major surgery with the big corded grinder. Yeah, you switch out. I'll probably see you on the other side because that's gonna be loud and nasty. Thought that by cleaning that weld off it would show something, and it did. There's bolts in there too. Let's get our delicate dashboard tool. Let's take that to the workbench. So this is what they made. They're bolts. The bolts are welded on.
Wow. Heavy duty.
I don't even know what that was about, but it's all behind us. Let's take a look. So we have another of these, which will be a perfect holder for the steering shaft. Yeah, that's nice. It's just a little bit dried out, but a little WD-40 in the end. So I'm thinking with that, there's still a bunch of slag here, but I could weld a nice plate right there. So this angle, you want it somewhere like that. And it looks like this might be, we want this as close to the steering wheel as possible for maximum hold, but we need something to support this too. I'll try to bang this up a little bit. I like the steering wheel up as high as possible. That's just me. Yeah. Get those snips and open this up a little bit. So they had just taken a tool and kind of bashed around in here on the firewall to make some more room for their steering column. This is heavy. That's some heavy metal. A lot of times you'll see a plate that just bolts on, surrounding this with a nice gasket to keep the engine heat and fumes out. That's what we're gonna have to do. Yeah, that is some heavier metal. Yeah, I got all that room. That helps the angle as well. So it's gonna come in somewhere like that. So I think if we make a plate that drops back and hits that, then when this comes on, it's going to need a support joint through here as well. So I'm going to clean this up with the grinder, and we'll discuss. It should just be a one hole to drill, and then that will be it for the steering, because we're going to order some parts. You're not going to believe this. I almost don't believe it. I went back to ye old box of bolts.
Yeah.
The right nut was sitting right there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm telling you, the spirit of the old man. He's
I went and I looked, and there was a piece of stub It just looked like this, a little piece of thread rod with this on it. And I was like, wait.
It was like sitting there waiting for
right
you.
on top.
That's really, really.
Good shit.
I told you.
I ain't lying. I don't know why that's in the way now. It wasn't just a minute ago. There it is. The vibration affected its orientation. Let's try not to knock all the tape off the dashboard.
Oh.
All right, set. That pretty much like that. So this plate, we're gonna want it, and I'll leave it long so we can build something to support later. Yeah, we're gonna want it about as long as that Sharpie marker. Let's go to the saw. It's our formal measurement.
Mm-hmm. Half of Rudy's tacos.
Thanks, Rudy. We actually don't even know Rudy or his tacos. We just love him for his sharpness. That's gonna go here, and that's gonna go there. We're gonna need to drill a large hole. Get this centered. There. Yeah. So we're gonna drill a hole, I guess. Let's see, right at the end. Yeah, about 2 inches in. So we're gonna want a hole about right there. That we can build some structure off. The whole diameter is that. Let's go to the drill press. And we'll drill this with a 2-step process. We'll do a small pilot, then we'll do the larger one. Let's do the pilot by hand.
Wow.
That's why you usually clamp things down. Yeah. Could weld that right on there. Bring that up any way I need it. Cool. Take that welder on, please. Just gonna tack this. Let's see. As the term goes, we're gonna tack around and find it. No binding. Ooh, just did it too much. It's a nice straight shot. Interesting. So this is adjustable, which is awesome. I'll get a few more of those lock nuts. I'll just hold that in place for the moment. And what's cool is I can get in here now. I can look in here and build this brace, the structure under the dash, which is awesome. So you can shut that off if you like. We're almost out.
Shut off the welder.
Yeah. So this is good from the steering box to this. And we were talking about maybe wanting some kind of, that aspect of, this type of look. We still have to come up with something to hold the steering wheel. Because right now the steering wheel is just doing this. So I'm going to get in a parts catalog, even though I don't typically do that. We want this thing to look nice. And I remember seeing like some micro stub kind of a race car steering hub. So that would go like right here. And then the wheel would come on wherever we want. But just to illustrate, we totally got steering once that is locked. I might even be able to find like a little micro adjustable steering column thing. I don't always say this, but let's go to the catalog. We got steering.
Yay.